Well, you got to go back to 2013 to that big Gang of Eight compromise that Rubio at the time was a part of. The key to the Gang of Eight compromise, the key to getting the Democrats on board for that was that it included a path to actual citizenship for those who are here illegally. Now, Cruz, as this bill was making its way through the Senate, put an amendment, or tried to put an amendment on the bill. The amendment would have taken out the path to citizenship. It would have left in place, though, a path to legal status in this country. Now, a lot of people at the time considered this what's called a poison pill amendment. The idea being Democrats were saying, look, this has to have a path to citizenship or we won't support it. So if Cruz's amendment got in and there was no path to citizenship,
Steve,
the Democrats wouldn't be able to support it.
One quick second, because there is a rebuttal of an answer coming from Cruz right now in Las Vegas. Let's listen.
People who were here illegally. And so that amendment, I introduced an amendment that made anyone here illegally permanently ineligible for citizenship. That amendment called their bluff because it revealed that the proponents of the Gang of Eight were being hypocrites, that they were not telling the truth, that what they claimed they were interested in was not in fact what they were interested in. What they were interested in, what Chuck Schumer and Barack Obama wanted, was very simple. They wanted millions of new Democratic voters. There's a reason why I think the new politically correct term is no longer illegal aliens. It's now undocumented Democrats. That's what was going on. It was a pure partisan political game. And by introducing an amendment to strip citizenship, it laid naked the partisanship, the hypocrisy, and the lies behind the proponents of the Rubio-Schumer amnesty plan. There is a reason every other strong opponent of amnesty supported me in that amendment. Jeff Sessions and I were side by side. It's one of the more ludicrous aspects where the Rubio campaign is trying to claim, well, Cruz and Sessions opposed citizenship in the Gang of Eight bill, so therefore they must have supported every other aspect of the Gang of Eight bill. That is utter nonsense. And by exposing the hypocrisy, by calling their bluff, we won. We defeated amnesty. We beat it. All of Washington was saying this cannot be stopped, that they had the votes to ram it through the Senate, and that Republican leadership in the House was going to take it up and pass it. This was a done deal. And by revealing the truth, calling their bluff, we were able to mobilize and energize the American people and defeat it. And by the way, what we've seen in the last 2 days, this is the establishment strikes back. We won that fight. We defeated amnesty, and they are furious. They're furious. They all sided. You know, 2013 was a moment, as Reagan put it, a time of choosing, where everyone could decide, where do you stand? Now, Marco Rubio is a friend of mine. He's a wonderful communicator. He's a charming individual. He's very well liked in Washington. Marco Rubio campaigned telling the people of Florida, if you elect me, I will lead the fight against amnesty. In Texas, I campaigned telling the people of Texas, if you elect me, I will lead the fight against amnesty. We said the exact same thing to the voters. But come 2013, we made very, very different decisions.
Steve Kornacki, let me bring you back in because you were talking about the poison pill aspect of all of this from 2013. We hear Cruz there saying it was to call their bluff.
Yeah, I mean, he's making the poison pill argument. He's basically arguing right now that what he was engaged in back in 2013 was pure strategy to try to stop the Democrats, to try to stop the Republicans who were going to go along with the Democrats. You're hearing him echo a line there that you heard a lot in conservative circles in 2013, the idea that the Democrats were pushing not just for immigration reform, but specifically for the path to citizenship, because a path to citizenship would ultimately lead to voters, to new voters. And those voters, the conservative side, many people believed would be predominantly Democratic. So Ted Cruz is basically making reference to that there, saying, look, they wanted a path to citizenship. People like Marco Rubio were willing to go along with that. That would have added millions, eventually would have added millions of more Democrats to the rolls. I stood up and I called their bluff by offering an amendment that would have said, no, there's no path to citizenship here for those who are here illegally. There is a path to eventually having legal status if they fulfill certain obligations, but not citizenship. So he's trying to basically argue it was strategy